Pokemon Sword and Shield came out nearly 3 years ago for the Nintendo Switch, and the next main series Pokemon games, Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, are right around the corner. Some people say Pokemon Sword and Shield are good Pokemon games, some people say Pokemon Sword and Shield are bad Pokemon games, while I definitely think that Pokemon Sword and Shield are Pokemon games. So let's play them again since I haven't played through these games in a year or so, but this time let's play it a bit differently by playing Pokemon Sword and Shield without catching any Pokemon. So first off, we have our starter, and I choose Scorbunny since we can get a few water types later on, and I think fire types will be more valuable. I name it Subscribe because, well, you know. And we'll go over what other Pokemon we can get as we progress through the game, since there's a few we can get that you might not have realized, and quite frankly, I'm not really 100% sure on all the Pokemon we can get as of right now. The first hour or so of this game is, well, a modern Pokemon game, so there really isn't much to actually discuss aside from us getting dripped out. But since I have some save data from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu on my Switch, I can get a free Pikachu that can Gigantamax. I think you can only do this if you're playing on actual hardware, so Nintendo, please don't murder me as this is on my actual Nintendo Switch, as I definitely would never pirate your games. I could also get an Eevee if I have saved out of Let's Go Eevee on my Switch, but I don't have that game as I'm writing this, and by the time this video ends, I might go out and get it if I can find it for cheap, just so I can get an Eevee for this video, as crazy as that sounds. I did also try connecting online to find a mystery gift, thinking there'd be one, but no, there just wasn't. Once in Wedgehurst, we see Team Yell, see Marnie, go to sleep, have a ceremony, then I realized that this isn't even where you fight the first gym leader in this game, as this is the third gym leader, so we have to leave and come back to this gym later. I then chase down some runaway roly-colies in the Galar Mine and eventually meet Bede or Bidet or BD, I'm sure that'll get a lot of comments, and dispatch him with our Reboot and Pikachu. This finally lets us reach the very first gym leader, Milo, and his grass-type foes. We started with the fire-type starters, so I'll spare you the finer details, but I did go into Pikachu just so I could see Gigantamax since I love it so much. We get a gym badge here too, of course. And we're getting very close to being able to get some more Pokemon for our team. Our next stop is Hulberry, but on the way we get a Toxel. I forgot that this thing was even in the game and you just got a free one from the daycare. But it is another electric type to add to the team, and I don't really like having repeated typings. I did come across another way to get a few Pokemon in this game without catching them though that we'll try in a little bit that'll alleviate our type mix-ups. For now, let's just focus on Nessa's gym battle, meet our nemesis, the ball guy, who gives us a ball that we cannot sell for some reason too, and of course we just can't toss items in this game unless I'm doing it wrong. So we're stuck with them in our bag forever, we just can't use them. I get lost in her gym puzzle, naturally, then finally make it to Nessa. Pikachu really shines here, and dare I say it, shocks Nessa's water-type Pokemon with chonky G-Max electric-type attacks. I thought her Dreadnought would cause problems, but nah, it didn't. Sorry for those two poor puns in the last paragraph, but now we can focus on my plan. Are you guys familiar with the Isle of Armor, that place with Urshifu, Mustard, and, well, an island? There's some hidden Digletts there that you can find, and you get a reward for finding a certain amount. These rewards include Pokemon, with the earlier rewards being Alolan Meowth, Slowpoke, and Alolan Vulpix, all good, usable Pokemon that I'd love to have on the team, and thankfully you can visit the Isle of Armor very early on in Pokemon Sword and Shield. I head over to the station to go there where we see Clara, and I'm ready to go and get some new Pokemon. I'm already looking up guides on where to find all these Digletts, but wait! There's a Slowpoke blocking our way. Surely this is just a minor issue, right? Well, not exactly. In order to access the Isle of Armor, we have to get this Slowpoke out of the way, and the only way the game lets you do that is by catching it, so no Isle of Armor for us. I tried knocking it out and running away from it, but no, we need to catch it. This is really unfortunate since there's so many Pokemon we could have gotten, but we can still technically get one Pokemon in the other Pokemon DLC, the Crown Tundra, which is a Cosmog. We get it after saving the village, but there's some problems with that too. One, we're very low leveled and probably can't even save the village right now, and two, it's just a Cosmog which doesn't evolve until level 43, so it's basically useless until the very end of the game anyway. I did have the idea of maybe surprise trading that Cosmog if we got it, or surprise trading this Toxel since I don't really need it. But I guess that surprise trading could be seen as cheating, and I also don't have Nintendo Switch Online on the account that I'm using to play this game, so thanks Nintendo. Through all of this though, we arrive at Kabu's Fire-type gym again. I think it's cool how the first 3 gyms in this game are grass, water, and fire respectively. We get taunted here too because his gym trial requires us to either knock out Pokemon or catch them, and of course we can't catch them. It was a little bit tedious because my Pikachu kept running low on PP from getting hit from sand attacks so much. So the Kabu fight was a bit harder than I expected. I decided to lead with Pikachu against Kabu and paralyze things, then eventually go into Raboot, Dynamax it, and hit everything with a charcoal boosted fire type move. I end up having to use Raboot to knock out Ninetales, then I go into Toxel on his Arcanine to heal, and also nuzzle it, Uwu. Then I go back into Pikachu and slowly chip away at Arcanine before Raboot knocks it out. On his Gmax Centiskorch, I Dynamax Raboot and learn the hard way that it has Flash Fire, so our fire type moves are useless. This bought us enough turns so I can heal up, use Revive, stall up the Dynamax turns, and shuffle between Pikachu and Raboot to eventually give us the win. Some people might not like that victory style since I switched a lot and healed a lot, but it isn't a Nuzlocke, so I guess we take those. While running around the city and talking to NPC, I remembered another thing we can do here is get a Togepi by trading our Toxel for it. Not a terrible trade since Togekiss is a very good Pokemon, and Fairy type is very useful, so I'll definitely consider it. After that last clip, I ended up eating lunch and thought, yes, Togepi. So I went to trade for one and was confused why it wouldn't let me do it until I realized I accidentally logged in on the wrong account. So after switching accounts, I trade Spyro the Toxel for Snips the Togepi. I think in the long run it'll help us out more, then we hammer away at a few trainers until we reach Stow-on-Side. This is very important for our journey, since we get some fossils from this man at the Pokemon Center, visit the Digging Brothers in the wild area for even more fossils, then mix and match those fossils, and thanks to the professor on Route 6, we can get an Arctozolt that I named Tundra. A nice type is pretty good to have since we don't have one yet, although it is also electric type, which is a type that I don't want another one of. And once I get more watts, I might try digging to get some more fossils to have some other combinations. For now though, we have to focus on battling the 4th gym leader, Bee, and her fighting type Pokemon. I want to evolve Togepi before we battle her though, since fairy types are super effective against her. So I play around with Togepi in the camp for a bit and give it a Soothe Bell. I spent about an hour battling with Togepi, playing within the Pokemon camp, and just running around with it until it finally evolved into Togetic. This will be great for Baya's fighting type gym, but I decided to lead with our recently evolved Cinderace to save Togekiss for as long as we can. Cinderace is just like really strong though, since it was able to do a ton of damage to her team. Eventually, once Cinderace falls and all she has left is her Gmax Machamp, I send out our Togetic. Now, who would win this fight? One giant 4-armed enraged MMA fighter or a big flying egg? I actually thought the egg would have it this time, but Machamp lives a max Starfall, then crits us on the following turn, so our trusty Pikachu has to bail us out to get this Rec Center identification with Discharge. When we leave the gym, we see how Bede broke the wall to uncover some secrets. I don't pay too much attention to the story in these challenge runs, and then we break him with our Cinderace. The beat fights really aren't that difficult in this game. There is this NPC taunting us saying how she can't wait to get more Pokemon and we can't catch any more Pokemon, so I don't really appreciate that lady. She sort of just glitches out here too and disappears towards the top of the stairs, then just reappears at the bottom sometime, and I haven't noticed this with other NPCs in this game yet. With all that out of the way though, we can journey through the Glimwood Tangle and into Bologna, home of another gym and our nemesis, the Ball Guy. We get an Eviolite here, which is useful for our Togetic as we don't have a Shiny Stone to evolve into Togekiss yet, but this means we can't have a proper honor battle of our Togekisses against Opal, the Fairy-type gym leader. I just lead with Cinderace again, which one-shots her lead Weezing, switch into Pikachu on her Togekiss, and somehow fall to it, so we have a pseudo honor battle, I guess, as I send out Togetic. Her Togekiss was really annoying, but Cinderace continues to be insanely strong to finish off her whole team after we revive it, so I think we made the right choice picking this as our starter. Next we have a battle against Hop, and he has 4 Pokemon, while Pyro Ball on Cinderace has 5 PP, so we win that in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. From here I decided to take a break and get some more fossils, since it's pretty much the only way we can get new Pokemon at this point since we can't catch any. I gather some watts, do some raids, and of course don't catch the Pokemon in the raids. Then do some digging and get a shiny stone to evolve our Togekiss, as well as some more fossils which turn into another Arctozolt. Since we aren't following the Dupes Clause rule, and I tend to just make up my own rules usually, I name it Tundra after the first one we have being Tundra, and add it to the team of course. On the way to Sirchester, our first Arctozolt levels up quite a bit thanks to some of the candies we got from the raids, and it gets to a point where it's actually useful in battle, hovering around level 40. I head into the gym, past the evil ball guy, and prepare to fight Gordy, as his mom is the gym leader in the other version. We're playing sword version, not shield, and Gordy has some rock type foes. I lay with Pikachu on his Barbaracle and Thunderbolt it as it barely lives, then splashes us with a Shell Smash. This could mean a lot of danger for us as it takes out our Pikachu, but Tundra is able to tank a hit and avenge Pikachu. I then go into Cinderace on his Shuckle. We have a Shuckle on our shirt in the game too, which is kind of funny. And get a lucky burn to help us knock it out. On his Stonejourner, I Dynamax Cinderace and go for Double Kick, which boosts our attack, but we narrowly miss out on the 2-hit KO and fall. That was kind of a waste of a Dynamax, but I was able to revive Pikachu again. All that's left now is his G-Max Colossoil, so we paralyze it as usual, then go into Togekiss to chip away at it as I heal up some of our other Pokemon. We have Air Slash on this Togekiss along with the King's Rock, and Colossoil is paralyzed. And if you guys play Pokemon, you know that staring down a Togekiss like that is pretty annoying. And it does buy us 2 turns before Togekiss ends up falling. His Pokemon is low enough though where we can stall out the Dynamax turns remaining, so Cinderace can come back in and bail us out yet again for our 6th gym badge. There's another hop battle which we hop right through, as I then decide to farm more watts and do some more raids for more EXP candies. We only have 5 Pokemon right now, and we can get a 6th Pokemon through the fossils again, but the likelihood of it being a 3rd Arctozolt is pretty high. And to be honest, having 3 Arctozolts on the team just seems pretty funny. Fortunately for us though, we get a new fossil this time, so we can have an Arctofish that I name Fish, and having a water type is very welcome. It'll be great for Raihan's gym later on, but for now we have to focus on getting to Spike Month for Pierce's Dark type gym. I taught Togekiss Draining Kiss from the move relearner, as it's the strongest fairy type move we had access to at the time, as well as Aura Sphere to help out for the dark type Pokemon. They both help out a lot against Spike Month's gym's junior trainers, and now it's time for a battle with Pierce. We have Togekiss, which is part fairy type and also has a strong fighting type move. And we Pierce's weaknesses with our fairy type moves and Aura Spheres, and he doesn't even Dynamax in this gym, which made it really easy. His Obstagoon going for Obstructs was a bit annoying to stall out a few turns, but Togekiss barely took any damage. With that out of the way, the only gym left is the final gym against Raihan and his rock or dragon type sandstorm team. I'm not really sure what to call it, but you know what I mean. And it's a double battle too, as Togekiss puts in work with Aura Sphere again, and Fish is a high level now, so we can send it out and go for Surfs to type trump a few of his Pokemon. We get 2 knockouts, then in comes his G-Max Duraludon, which we yawn with Togekiss so it can go to sleep in a couple of turns. His Sandaconda was a bit annoying as it kept protecting and living hits. And on the turn that Duraludon was drowsy, I sent out Tundra and it just got knocked out by a G-Max Rockfall. And I'm pretty sure both of the times we ever sent out Tundra, it just died immediately, so sorry Tundra. I just send out Cinderace after that, Dynamax, and clear out the rest of his Intrepid team and collect our 8th and final gym badge in the Galar region. I then logged into the wrong profile on my Switch again and was confused for a few minutes, then log into the correct profile and go through Route 10 to make it to Winden. Here we have to get ready to take on the Winden Stadium for the tournament, with our first battle being up against Marnie and her dark type foes. We have Snips the Togekiss, which is a bit over leveled because it was a traded Pokemon, as it Aura Spheres her Liepard, Air Slashes her Toxicroak, Dynamaxes and Draining Kisses Morpeko, Air Streams the Grimace, and as we return to normal after Dynamaxing, she Dynamaxes, but we're still able to knock her out. For Hop, we lead with Cinderace to Pyro Ball Dubwool, Dynamax, and Max Knuckle the Snorlax, take it out in 2 shots, while boosting our attack and allowing Cinderace to sweep the rest of his team pretty easily. Turns out that gift Pokemon in this game are actually quite good, especially the starter Pokemon, so you don't really even need to catch anything to beat this game apparently. We then exit the elevator in the hotel and see Leon just awkwardly standing there doing this pose. I don't know if he was just waiting for us, or what? And then we meet Pierce outside for some macrocosmos evil stuff, because they're trying to do something evil. We climb the Rose Tower, dispatching some of these macrocosmos foes, and meet Oleana at the top, who is angry and challenges us to a battle. There isn't really too much to note in this battle, aside from her having a very annoying Milotic that just kept spamming recovers and safeguarding, so I couldn't even yawn or anything. The Milotic took out my Pikachu, Tundra, and Tundra before Cinderace bails us out, and takes out her G-Max Garbodor, which has a really cool G-Max form, by the way. With all those interruptions out of the way, we can return to the tournament, but we get interrupted again by Bede, who just barges in and decides to battle us, even though he's not supposed to be here, and nobody just escorts him off the premises for trespassing. I Pyro Ball his Mawile, and dispatch him in 2 Shakes of a Lamb's Tail too, to make him understand why he isn't supposed to be in this tournament in the first place. Now onto the actual rest of the tournament, we have to fight Nessa next, and I led with Tundra. Between Freeze Dry and Electric moves, she goes down pretty easily as her whole team is water. Then for Bea, here is her fighting type team. We have an overlevel Togekiss, which is Flying and Fairy, both super effective against fighting, so you can probably tell how this battle went. This next fight is against Raihan, and it goes a lot better than our first fight, with Fish really shining here to take out his lead Torkoal, and Fish's cousin Tundra helped out a lot. Fish is slowly becoming our best Pokemon in this later portion of the game too. All that leaves now is the champion Leon. Well, just kidding, we get interrupted again as Rose does Rose things and wants us to unleash Dynamax power across the world or something. We have to stop him, of course. And his team is all weak to fire, so Cinderace just goes burr. Do people still say that? Go burr when something's really good? I don't know. And now we have to fight Eternatus. Well, first Leon tries to catch it with a regular Pokeball, surprisingly fails, and then we battle it. And you know the saying, every fish has its day? Well, maybe it's every dog has its day. But our fish takes out Eternatus, then it goes berserk, and a couple of dogs came to help us out fight it, which is funny how that works. We defeat it again, but unfortunately this sort of ends our run here, and I didn't expect this. We're actually forced to catch Eternatus, and even if I try to select the option that says don't catch, it's grayed out and won't let me select it when I press A, so it looks like the run ends here as I have to catch a Pokemon in our no catching run. We did technically fail a challenge, I guess, but since we're so close and only have one fight against Leon left, I just challenged him anyway without using the one Pokemon we caught. I use Cinderace on his lead Aegislash to broil it, then on Haxorus I take it out with Togekiss after skillfully dodging an Iron Tail. I go into Tundra on his Dragapult, but it falls, so I go back into Togekiss and finish it off, then go into Cinderace to take out his Mr. Rime. On Inteleon I send out Pikachu and Gigantamax, see its chonky form, and do way less damage than I thought, but still take it out in a couple of hits, and then fall to his G-Max Charizard. We still have Fish though, so I send it out, go for a couple of surfs, live a hit, and get the win, or should I say the fin, because it's a fish and the video is over now, so bye bye.